Alright, so I added a new whoop to my stable here. This is the EMax TinyHawk 2, and you may have noticed I've had one of these before, and I gave it away as part of a kind of a beginner bundle. Try to help get one of my brothers started flying. So I just really like the look of these. It's analog. Yes, I know. I would really want to try to convert one to digital eventually. So this one's, the way it's built though, is a little different than the Eachine trash can. The Eachine trash can, the board is just standard whoop bolt pattern, and so I was able to just fit a vista, a naked vista. Just these outer holes are the same as a whoop pattern, and so you just add it to the stack. Basically, make the stack a little taller. So, see, don't know how well you can see this, but let's see here. Get it up under some light. You can see there's just 3 stacks there. The board on the bottom, original board on the bottom, then the 2 stacks of the Vista on the top. So it works out really well. I really like this drawing, but but I also really love the looks of this one. Looks kind of like on Independence Day. There's the alien ships. That's what I really like the look of this thing. So went ahead and bought another one. I may try to convert it. I'm kind of eyeballing it. It's going to get thicker on the bottom if I put another stack in there. Basically, looking at either buying another all-in-one board that's kind of more standard bolt pattern and replacing that one. Maybe, let me put this down here. Not sure if this is good background or not. But anyways, maybe shoving this up in there, like it looks like it would fit kind of up in there, and that would give me like 2 stacks. So the second stack of this Vista would be at the height of the current board. There's another board up in there that's the VTX. So when you take out that VTX and then you shove this in there, it would be up against the top of the plastic here, and so this bottom board would be about the height of this board. So then this board would have to move down another set. The problem with this board is it's got the USB port popping up through the top, plus these little mounts pop up through the top. So if it was under all these boards, well, it's got all that extra that's gonna get in the way. Actually, these may not, because they'll not be in the way. That's the other thing, is I'm gonna have to convert from this mounting. You know, it's currently this way, and I'd have to convert it to this way, so that might be a 3D print to make that happen. But that USB port's definitely going to create a lot of space. The USB port that pokes up through the back here would definitely create a lot of space between those 2 boards, which would stick that board way out here. And I don't want that. So that's what I was thinking about replacing that board. My other thought just a few minutes ago is to cut these standoffs off and just flatten that board up against the frame. And just push it up into there more, and then this would go on the bottom like that. And just maybe just use those outer mounting holes and nothing on the front and back. Again, it's going to poke out a little ways. Probably, you know, the battery would basically be sitting on let's get the battery. Instead of sitting in here, it would be sitting another layer out, so it would get to be about that far out, which, you know, that may not be terribly bad. It'd be like right here. I don't know if that look bad or not. Versus the nice sleek loop bit now. So anyways, I might fly it a little bit on analog, just to, because that's where I'm at right now. And just to kind of remember why I don't like analog, I'll go ahead and fly it. But anyways, this camera on my last quad of this kind, I had replaced the camera. This was a Runcam Nano 2. I replaced it with a Runcam Racer, maybe 2, I don't know. Racer Nano. But anyways, the Racer has the OSD. You can actually change the settings on it, because this, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fly it anyways in a little bit, and this is like super sharp. I can't stand the sharpness of analog cams at their default. So you always want OSD on an analog cam so that you can change the settings, try to get the colors the way you like them. But I'm gonna go ahead and fly it, see how bad it is. And the one thing I do miss from analog is OSD, especially like the end credits kind of deal. Tells you like, you know, how much amps you used and how long it was, and it just feels really cool. Like the OSD just, that's why I try to put the OSD on my videos, is it just kind of adds to it to me. It's like the cockpit effect, like heads up display. So I always like that, and I miss that on going to DJIs, that you don't have as good of OSD. You don't have like the end credits. I really miss that part of it. So maybe I'll enjoy this as an analog quad. I doubt it will stay that way, but for now that's what we're gonna do. So to show you my analog setup, so I'll put this back over here. What do we do for analog? Where's my controller? Oh, it's hanging down there. I don't remember hanging down there. I'm blind. Okay, so for analog, you're like, wait, what? Using a DJI? You can't do analog with that, right? Well, you can. So let me pick this up. Okay. Go ahead and turn you around. Okay, so yeah, I got that module in the back. This is I guess it's made by Telemetry. Is that a company? Looks like, no, it just has telemetry, right? That's an XJT module. Got a battery, lithium battery mounted to it. This mount includes a little board on the back that I believe, if I remember right, it's been a little while, but I believe it boosts the voltage, because this would be like 3.7 volts or whatever. Boost the voltage up to like 5 or 12 volts to feed this module. I also have an on-off power switch in this spot here, so when you turn it on, it should get all lit up. See, it lights up, beeps, shows you the binding and stuff. That's just your bind button. So you got to get one that has an external bind button, and it's not a channel selector. This is like where you select like D8 or D16. So then also inside, so where your normal pins used to be, I think they're over here. I just wired or soldered in. You find the PPM wire or pin, and you solder that in. You just have to find some. I don't. It's been a while, so I don't have the documents on that. You just have to find some drawings, but basically just PPM into the trainer port here. And of course, people were like, "Oh, PPM! Oh my goodness, that's like slow junk. How could you go that slow? We need to do like 500 hertz nowadays, right? And links, and well, when you find loops, I don't even notice the difference really. Maybe I'm just slow and old, but it's perfectly fine to me. You get used to latency. You know, like this DJI on S Plus Fast is like a 250 megahertz link. I think it's like pretty close to that, equal to that. I've never noticed when I switch from S Plus Fast to S Plus. It's just it's cool to go fast, right? So I always switch it to fast. But anyways, yeah, PPM works fine on a whoop. Maybe if you were doing the flippy floppies or something really fast. But I only fly like that on a more high performance drone, so I tend to try to fly smooth and just quick. So yeah, that's how that's hooked up. It's bound to that quad already, the TinyHawk 2. And then just using the typical analog mod, well, not typical, sort of typical analog mod here. This is something I 3D printed. This is just a single antenna, no diversity module that's in there. Just one of the old styles. And then I have a binary counter here to flick through the channels. I just wired it straight into the pins. I look for a pinout diagram of that module. It's just the one of the singles, and then you can just flick through the channels with that. This just comes right off. Well, when it's not all cabled up, it slides up and down. Hopefully you see that fine. It just slides on. I didn't even have the connector on there before, because I'd gone all digital. But we're going to try this out for just a little bit. And I put my best, not best, but pretty close to the best Omni on there. I did have like an old Vaz one that I think I sent that with one of the kits that I gave away. But this is my next best. A lot of times I just run a simple stubby on there, but I am going to try to give it, give it the best it can get. See how what we can do with the analog, if it's halfway flyable around the yard. But yeah, and of course, flying with the DJI, you get the best recording because it has the best DVR on there than any of your other analog goggles. They don't record very well. They don't really give you a good representation of what analog is. I always say that like analog looks way worse to everybody because of the DVRs that are recording it. It's not as bad as you see it on YouTube, because of course YouTube chops it, but really like the Fat Shark DVRs are just so bad. When I first showed one of these, I put, is this HD? When with DJI goggles recording analog, it's so much better, but it's still not. It's not HD, nowhere near HD, but it's not as bad as people think it is. So, anyways, yep. So in a few minutes, I'll try to get out and fly that, and I'll give you a video of that. So I don't know how many takes of this I'll include, but it's been a bunch that I've tried. Keep getting interrupted and all sorts of stuff. But anyways, so this isn't my first time flying this. It's gonna be like the 5th time. I wasn't that impressed with the video, of course, with this analog. It's just, this camera, for one thing, is like super sharp, but then also the resolution, it's just not there. 460p versus 720p. I'm pretty sure it's like double the resolution when you multiply it out, double the number of pixels or more. so you just can't beat that. And then of course the range isn't quite there either. So we'll see how long this stays an analog quad. But anyways, I'll fly it for you real quick here. The reception isn't terrible, but we'll see. Alright, now we'll record. A lot windier than earlier, but it is really smooth. Now I noticed like the rates are really low by default. Oh, that flashiness is just not used to that at all, flashing in my face. It's been a long time since I've flown analog, except for the first 4 times I've flown this. And yeah, ghost branches, you definitely need to know where the branches are. But I do like the way this thing flies. It's really smooth. Yeah, the wind's kicking. Yeah, I won't be using any of those other flights because I just know how to erase my SD card.
That's kind of a bummer. Definitely only be getting this footage. Ooh. Yeah, this thing doesn't roll in as fast as I'm used to. Definitely gotta play with the rates. I'm probably gonna go ahead and upgrade it too to 4.3. But I just wanted to see how it flew first before I went and did all that. Alright, that's enough flickering. Don't know how y'all fly analog all the time.